ton of people running who are.
All right, cool. I bet they're thrilled right now. He's just called them all garbage people. All right. Let's see. I probably have it. I may have to get that tomorrow. We'll go. I'll go 10 more minutes. We've got 10 minutes left. I don't know where we're at on the gift goal. I think it's somewhere around there. We're well short of it. If you are able to help out today, that'd be greatly appreciated. I'm going to go 10 more minutes, then we'll get out of here. I'll try and cruise through this. I just wanted to get through some Venezuela stuff, and we're going to start out with our favorite dipshit, Dave Rubin, who never understands anything, but relies heavily on his own intellect, which is lacking, and he's going to say some dumb shit here.
The big story of the last couple of days is that we are blowing up Venezuelan drug trafficking ships that are coming from Venezuela, bringing drugs, trying to get into America. We've decided to blow up these ships. Now, this is an easy, obvious thing. It is a type of, I think you could say, low-grade warfare. It's not like shooting a rocket from Venezuela into Florida, right? But it is a type of warfare if you try to poison.
Yeah, it's a type of warfare in that it's not warfare at all. It's a type of warfare in that it's nothing like warfare. It's a type of warfare in that we didn't declare a war. It's just murder, but we don't want to say that word, so we call it warfare.
A population of another country, and we've just had enough of it, and we've shown you some
Thanks, Crazy Trees, for the gifted subs.
Videos of this over the last couple of weeks, that we're just blowing up these ships, right? And now there's a whole fracas about this. Is the president all
fishing boat's a ship now?
At exposing that, right? He takes an issue that's an 80-20 kind of obvious gut issue. He does.
Should the government kill suspected traffickers abroad without judicial process? No. He's calling this an 80-20 issue. 51% of adults say no. Only 58% of Republicans say yes. 76% of Democrats, 53% of other. Whoops. Do you approve or disapprove the U.S. military attacking and destroying ships around Venezuela? U.S. says it's 42 to 27. A lot are not sure. Democrats say strongly disapprove. Republicans only moderately say that they strongly or somewhat approve. Not an 80-20 issue, but Dave Rubin doesn't do research. He just relies on his own brain.
The right thing. He gets them to go crazy and defend all the bad people, and it makes the Democrats look even stupider. They are he
didn't put up that stat. This is an edit. He didn't do that.
Bringing enough fentanyl into our country to probably kill an entire country, right? Like, it's crazy.
Nope. No, they're not. They're not bringing in fentanyl. Almost exclusively cocaine. So, don't you think that if you're advocating that people should die, you should have to get like some of the facts right? I think you should have to get some facts right if you're going to advocate that people die. This is something that's Rand Paul is very, very against. This is where we'll end, because I just want to show it. We had bad Rand Paul today. Now we have good Rand Paul. We'll end on this. Once again, if you can help us knock out that gift goal by the end, greatly appreciate it. If not, I'll be back tomorrow and every weekday, 8:30 a.m. to noon, right here on, I think it's just Twitch. We might still have some YouTube up.
Republican Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky, who chairs the Senate Homeland Security Committee and also serves on the Foreign Relations Committee, tried to pursue some of these questions we discussed with Wendy. Asked him about the legality of the Pentagon's actions in Venezuela and whether he thinks they amount to a prelude to war.
I'm very fearful that these boat strikes and the positioning of our ships and our troops right off the coast of Venezuela is a prelude to war. I think that there is a real question of legality. Under the military justice, under the Code of Military Justice, it says that when someone has been incapacitated or shipwrecked, or they're clinging to the wreckage of a boat, that they're out of combat and they're no longer subject to be killed. And so there is a real question: who gave the order, and why would they give the order to kill someone who is out of combat? Now, over the weekend, the Secretary of Defense was saying, well, I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about a second attack. But today, when he was interviewed, he said, well, yes, I left the room for a while. The second attack occurred, and I learned about it when he came back. But why was he telling us this weekend he didn't know anything about a second attack and he had never authorized it? But now that it's come to light, he says, oh, I didn't do it. Somebody else did it. The admiral did it. So they're all pinning blame on the military guy. But
why is it Republicans? Why is it do we think that Republicans can't acknowledge this reality? Why can Rand Paul just tell the truth and every other Republican pretends that's not what happened, that they just lied about it? Oh, I don't know anything about it. And then 3 days later, this happens every fucking time. They come out, that story's bullshit, and then 3 days later, it's true, and they just pretend that it didn't happen, that they never lied about it. How do we know what drug is on those boats? Because that's what they're claiming is on it, but we know where these drugs are trafficked from, and we know that what comes from Venezuela is almost exclusively the white stuff.
I'm one who tends to give a lot of leeway to the military guy and not so much leeway to the person who gave him the orders. These orders came from the Secretary of Defense, and ultimately he's going to have to accept responsibility. But to my mind, there's a question about whether or not killing people in the first place who you have no proof that they're armed, you have presented no proof that they're carrying drugs, and that you simply kill them. I think that's outrageous. But now, not only do we kill them, our government is following up by killing them when they're wounded and stranded and of no threat whatsoever, which is, according to our own laws, illegal.
Well, good point. And he's also pardoning people who trafficked that stuff in here and said, like, unequivocally, I want to ram this up the gringo's nose. But Trump gave that guy a pardon. These people die. That guy got due process, was convicted, and then Trump's like, never mind, you can get out of here.
You've illustrated that carefully, Senator. It's Admiral Frank Bradley we're talking
Rand doesn't want to get a new plug.
About. He's been named by the administration. I don't know if you think it's appropriate that his name is made public before he testifies before the Armed Services Committee on Thursday. But I guess the question now is raised, where does the buck stop? Is it with the Admiral, the Defense Secretary, or the Commander-in-Chief?
I think it's, to me, amazing that anybody in the public accepts this. The idea that we would make an accusation. We will simply accuse someone, and then they are found guilty without any kind of process. We asked the Coast Guard for specific statistics off the coast of Venezuela, and they said of boats that have been intercepted off of the coast, before we came up with this blow them to smithereens policy, we used to interdict them. And of the boats that we interdicted off the coast of Venezuela, about 1 in 4, 21% to be exact, were not carrying drugs.
Whoops. So if their own stats still hold true, that means that at least some of these boats, I don't know how many have we hit now. Let's get the percentage. How many Venezuelan boats? Does anybody know the number? Um, 21. So that means 5 of them. It says 20. I got 21 here. As of November 2025, the United States military has conducted approximately 21 strikes on vessels, resulting in the destruction of 21 strikes and the destruction of 22 boats. All right, let's call it 22. That means at least 5 of those boats, by their own numbers, were innocent people.
That would mean if you're going to blow up all of the boats off the coast that look like drug boats or that you're suspicious for, 21% of the time you'd be killing innocent people. So I think it's outrageous that anybody would countenance this kind of activity. And I'm surprised that I seem to be one of the few people who seem to be alarmed at this. But I think it's unconscionable. It's wrong on any level to kill people.
83, I think, is the number they say.
With no proof that they are engaged in combat at all with your country.
Well, so should Pete Hegseth be fired?
There has to be an investigation, and I am glad that for a change there is a bipartisan push from the Armed Services Committee to get to the bottom of this. So there'll be an investigation. I think he needs to be asked under oath, did you give the order to kill any survivors? And if you didn't give the order, what was the order? Why did the Admiral think that he was supposed to kill people clinging to wreckage? The idea that these people were still a threat, it's a debate whether they...
Yeah, James, 21% don't have drugs. That means 79% do, but that means 21% of the people that we're killing are innocent. What kind of psychopath thinks like, oh, it's all right. Yeah, we can kill 21% of these people. It's no big deal.
were ever a threat. They're on a motorboat 2,000 miles from our coast. If you want to take that motorboat to the closest point of entry in Miami, you'd probably have to fill it up 20 times. These motorboats can't go 2,000 miles on a tank of gas. If
damn,
there
they
was
sound
drugs
like
on
us.
board, they may be going to other countries, but probably not to the U.S. So the whole thing is just remarkable that in our country we would allow this to happen.
All right, we're going to cut it there. And then I want to show you real quick another Republican. This is Mike Turner. Mike Turner went and sat and was briefed on this, and Mike Turner saying, no. Keep telling us we're lying. Now, by the way, somebody said we lie about everything. Now it's the Democrats that are lying and all these Republicans that are being briefed on it. They're all lying too.
The President of the United States has said, in his words, a matter of days, there'll likely be strikes on land.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Let's get your opinion on that.
Said you're killing it. Keep up the great work. Appreciate you.
Are there legal issues there? What sort of oversight role should Congress be playing with that if this were to become an even greater operation?
Congress has made it clear, and members of Congress have made
Thanks,
it clear
Sherry.
the administration has not provided us with sufficient information as to what the administration is doing to have the support of Congress for any actions inside Venezuela.
Mr. Chairman.
That's not good. They provided no evidence, no justification. They sat us down. They're like, don't worry, we'll explain to you. Because these guys have oversight. These guys, they do have to tell Congress. And then they told Congress, and Congress came out and said, they're not telling us anything. And now Tom Tillis, another Republican, because he won't listen to Democrats, and he probably will just call all of these people rhinos too. But Tom Tillis has basically the same thing to say here.
Want to know who is responsible for making the pardon recommendations, what they're thinking.
Trump said that they're going to go on land. Trump said that yesterday or the day before, that a land invasion is coming soon. Now, a lot of things he says winds up being bravado and doesn't turn out to be true, but he's at least threatening it.
Again, the president is not going to review the pardon applications and go through all the details. He's going to take a recommendation from his staff. Many of the things that I think are going on in this administration that I have a problem with are not with the president. They're the advice that the president's being given. How on earth can you threaten?
See how he gives see how they always give Trump like he's just a toddler? It's not his fault. It's the bad advice he's getting. It's never Donald's fault. They have to play such patty cake with that fucking little toddler. We know that it's not his fault. You know, we know if he was getting good information, he'd do the right thing.
A potential.
The source isn't CNN, you goddamn dipshits. Every fucking time we do this. The source is Tom Tillis. He's a Republican. This is the source. The person talking is the source, not the fucking logo. God, you guys are dumb.
Land war against a thug and a narco terrorist who plays like he's the president of Venezuela, and then go easy on someone whose investigation that led to an indictment started in the Trump administration. So
by his own former personal attorney.
These are the basics that concern me with the advice coming out of the pardons office, like the January 6th.
Same thing. Look at all these pardons for these drug traffickers. It wasn't his fault. How are you simultaneously running two different messaging campaigns? You're running a messaging campaign that Joe Biden didn't know what he was doing and all of his pardons should be voided because he didn't know what he's doing. And at the same time saying these pardons by Donald Trump don't make any fucking sense, so he must not know what he's doing. It's all the other people. How do you do both?
Protesters who killed or were responsible for the death of people on Capitol Hill. Look, I get the over prosecution. There were a lot of people who went to prison. Biden he over prosecuted. It was vindictive prosecution. It was wrong. Should they have been fined? Should they have been given an education? Yes. But there were hundreds of people that should not have gone to jail or gone to all the expense that they did. But these thugs, these people that breached the building, told everybody else to come in, who assaulted police officers, there's no way they should be on the street today. And anybody who made that recommendation to the president needs to be held accountable.
He sat there and cheered it on. Whatever, like 2 out of 10 for bravery there. You at least called out something that was bad, but you're not willing to blame Trump for it. He doesn't know what he's doing unless he does something good. He's the greatest ever. Nobody's better. All right. That's I got to run. I got to go pick up my daughter from school. Let me check comments one more time. Make sure I didn't miss any. I did miss from Illusion. In Minnesota, we love Rep Omar. Marianne, thanks for the super chat. What's any here? Jen, did I miss any? that you're aware of? RK said donation to put towards. I missed this one from RK. Robert, donation to put towards the daily goal. All right, I think I got all of them. All right, guys, I'll be back tomorrow morning and every morning, 8:30 a.m. to noon Pacific Standard Time right here on TikTok. Tomorrow is Friendly Friday. I don't know what my schedule looks like. There is at least a chance that we won't get to Friendly Friday. I have 2 big stories to cover tomorrow, and they may take a lot of time. So we'll see on Friendly Friday, but we'll try our best to make sure Friendly Friday happens. If you could do me a favor when the live ends, if you go just comment on one of our videos, like it, share it with a friend. That does a lot to get us back in the newsfeed. Taking a week off was tough, and then being banned by TikTok every single day is a little tough on our algorithm. So if you could help us out that way, it'd be greatly appreciated. Not this Monday, but the following Monday, we have a movie night, and I'll be letting you know what the movie will be sometime next week. So make sure you're a paid member either on Twitch, TikTok, or YouTube, and you can join us there. Other than that, do we have a raid set up? Is Bree here? If Bree's not, you guys can pick you guys can let me know raid, and we can raid TikTok too. Let's do a TikTok raid and a, because I know some of you are going to go to TikTok now, and a Twitch raid. 46 CD, you're too dumb to have this conversation. You've been wrong about everything today. You need to go read.
Looks like on TikTok, Itchy's live.
We rated Itchy last time.
Yeah, Comrade B.
Let's do let's do Comrade B. We'll do that. And then if Boston Brian is live on Twitch, let's raid Boston Brian. I haven't seen Boston Brian in a while. There we go. Boston Brian on Twitch. Comrade B over on TikTok. Tell him we sent you. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, bright and early. Take care of yourselves. Stay cute and cool. And have a great summer.